I believe that the future of democracy in this country will not be decided in the courts. It will not be decided in Congress. It will not be decided on social media. I believe that the future of democracy in this country will be decided right here on the streets of Minneapolis.
In Minneapolis, Tom Morello organized the Defend Minnesota concert to raise funds for the families of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Then he did this.
Please welcome my good friend and fellow freedom fighter, Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
I read this song, and I recorded the next day, and I sent it to Tom Morello. So now I know that Tom is an excitable man. And I say, Tom, what do you think? It's kind of, what do you think? It's kind of soapboxy. And he says, look, he says, Bruce, nuance is wonderful, but sometimes you have to kick them in the teeth. So this is for people in Minneapolis, people in Minnesota, and people of our good country, the United States of America.
He brought out Bruce Springsteen, who had just released his song, Streets of Minneapolis. On his website, he gave this quick blurb. I wrote this song on Saturday, recorded it yesterday, and released it to you today in response to the state terror being visited on the city of Minneapolis. It's dedicated to the people of Minneapolis, our innocent immigrant neighbors, and in memory of Alex Preddy and Renee Good. Stay free, Bruce Springsteen.
Well, I don't live here. I'm an outside agitator. I've come in to stir up trouble. So I hear that this thing I heard was real, and let me confirm it. Because we are here to stir up as much trouble as we possibly can, because we care about this country, democracy, freedom, and to oppose tyranny, racism, and the incredibly horrible state terror that the Trump administration is inflicting on this city and the rest of our country.
Here is what he said prior to the concert.
Acts like fascism, dresses like fascism, talks like fascism, kills like fascism, and lies like fascism. Brothers and sisters, it's fascism. It's here, it's now, it's in my city, it's in your city, and it must be resisted, protested, defended against, stood up to, exposed, ousted, overthrown, and driven out. By who? By you and by me. Minneapolis is an inspiration to the entire nation. You have heroically stood up against ICE, stood up against Trump, stood up against this terrible rising tide of state terror. You've stood up for your neighbors and for yourselves, for democracy and for justice. Ain't nobody coming to save us except us. And brothers and sisters, you are showing the way. To that end, we would like to begin our program with an old Native American war chant. We encourage you to sing along. In this very room, Prince created a revolution. Now it's our turn.
And what would that song be exactly? Killing in the Name of. For all my Rage Against the Machine fans, go watch these videos online. I guarantee you will get chills. On his iconic guitar, Morello wrote 3 words during the concert: arrest the president. From Rolling Stone's write-up, Springsteen's solo acoustic performance of the song was understated compared to the production heard on the studio version, but backup singers or a full band would have gotten in the way of the essential truth of the moment. arguably the biggest rock star on the face of the planet, made a surprise appearance in an occupied and embattled city. And here he was, singing the names of their murdered neighbors, about the blood on the ice-covered pavement. Amid a vacuum in leadership at the highest level, here was the boss, pointing a finger directly at the responsible parties. This was certainly solidarity. And when he sang the words Alex Pretty and Renee Good, the crowd cheered emphatically. As the song wound down, cheers gave way to a chant spurred on by Springsteen himself, Ice Out Now. We've all seen everything that has gone down in Minneapolis. We've seen what has gone down in St. Paul. We have seen how they have targeted Somali people, largely by manufacturing consent through Nick frickin' Shirley, of all people. And I saw Jessica Pagula followed him on Twitter. I believe she has unfollowed him. Good for her. She saw the backlash. Why even do that in the first place? Many will point to her dad, the owner of the Buffalo Bills and Buffalo Sabres, and comments he allegedly made that Jim Trotter brought up in a lawsuit, but that's neither here nor there. When I saw these scenes being taken in Minneapolis, obviously your heart breaks. And when so many people, and I'm going to do a piece on the Grammys in a little bit, but when so many people are being fence sitters, when they're choosing to say, yeah, I don't know enough about it. Or we have folks like frickin' Jelly Roll, who I expect absolutely nothing of. His music sucks. But when I see folks like Jelly Roll really play up their religious values and scream Jesus, and then being unable to practice what they preach, it's a tell. Because all I feel like any of us are expecting at this point is to just say, yeah, this is pretty bad. Everything that's going on in this country is horrible. Do I expect them to get into, core civic and geo group like we do? No. Do I expect them to get into the private prison industry at all? Probably not. No. But what I do expect them to do is be on the side of humanity. It is so minimal. But then you look at what Bruce Springsteen is doing and Tom Morello is doing. And these are just two examples of many who are speaking out and showing you how art, like sports, reflect the times. I am proud to be a fan of Rage Against the Machine. I am proud to be a fan of Tom Morello. I've been following their work for a long, long time. When my folks who lived in my dorm introduced me to them, and I was hooked. It taught me a lot. And that also goes to show the power that so many artists have in the arts. I learned about so many atrocities that this very country does not want us to learn. I learned about people that are locked up for crimes they probably didn't commit. I learned about the backgrounds of so many people, their stories, their sacrifices, what they gave, the way that they were punished by the American Empire through Rage's work. That's one band. One. So when we look back on this, and as I've discussed with protesters and activists alike on my independent show where I'm doing on-the-ground reporting, when I ask them if they are feeling optimistic, pessimistic, or in the middle, there is careful optimism amongst many because they see the power in numbers. And I will try to carry that with me. And I know that this music, at least for me, and maybe for you, also help carry that optimism as well. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.